Hey, what's up everyone? David here. I'm glad to be here today. If you don't know, news outlet dropped their reviews for Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD yesterday while you guys are watching this video on the 18th of May. So news outlets, they put out their review, they said what they think about the game and all of that. And last time that we did check out reviews or review scores on Metacritic and comments that news outlets have to say for an Atlas game, it was for Persona 5 Strikers, and it was super fun to read what those outlets have to say. It's always pretty funny and interesting because those outlets, they just get a review copy of a game and they play 10,000 games a month, so they're not really big fans like us. Of course you guys are gonna watch on Friday my review, and all of us who are like content content creators, of course we have stuff to say, a fan's point of view on a remaster. But today we're gonna look at review scores for Nocturne HD together for news outlets. I want to give a big shout out to my boy KatanaRikku. He made the review for Nocturne HD for an outlet being Game Explain. Big outlet, and I'm very proud of you, man, Riku. That's awesome. Great news. And if you guys haven't watched his review on the Game Explain channel, I suggest checking it out. And if you don't know who Riku is, please check him out. He's an awesome Megaton content creator. Great dude. He's been on the channel a couple of times now. So yeah, shout out to you, man. And check out his review. Good stuff. Oh, and before I forget, I am launching a Nocturne HD giveaway. Absolutely, I gave out a Nocturne HD copy before last year, actually, which I will give to the winner once the deluxe edition of the game comes up. But I am also giving away a game right here and there, another copy of Nocturne HD. I bought myself the PS4 copy and the Switch copy, physical copies. They're coming next week. I have my review copy here, and I want to give out a copy. So you might be the lucky winner if you're interested in winning a copy of SMT 3 Nocturne HD Remaster, whether it's the Steam version of the game, the Nintendo Switch version of the game, or the PlayStation 4 version of the game. You can absolutely do so. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, follow me on Twitter. Those two things are the most important things that you have to do to get a ticket to participate in the giveaway, and then follow the link down in the description below. Once that's all completed, I will have your registration for the giveaway, and you'll have a chance to win a copy of Nocturne. So two things: follow me on Twitter, the link is down in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're already subscribed, it's all good, you still have your participation. And don't forget to click the link, it's a King Sumo link down in the description below, and you are entered to win a copy of Nocturne HD. The winner of the game will be picked on May 31st. So by the end of the month, you'll know if you have a copy of Nocturne HD Remastered. So the sooner you participate, the better. Now let's get into the video. Alright, so here, let's start with Nocturne HD Remastered on PlayStation 4. So as you can see, as of the day of recording this video, this game is sitting at a 78 Metascore on Metacritic. If you're not familiar with Metacritic, this is a site that takes all different reviews and review scores, put it on their site, and they do an average, and that gives us the Metascore. So this is why it's a site that's such highly regarded, because there's a lot of critics on it. So for now, the Metascore for Nocturne HD on PS4 has 23 critics. So let's see what they have to say here. So as you can see, we have 17 positive reviews, 6 mixed, and 0 negative. The game is actually the 16th best PS4 game of 2021. So great to see overall, positive here. The highest rated review is actually from RPG Fan here, quite possibly one of the greatest RPGs ever made. Nocturne has stood the test of time and demands to be played. PlayStation Lifestyle here with a 90. SMT3 Nocturne HD Remasters, a trip down nostalgia lane. One new and returning players will sink hours into for the full experience. Whether you stick to the main story or chase down every side quest in pursuit of power, you won't be disappointed. So, alright, cool. Then we're getting into the lower scores a bit. With Noisy Pixel 85, Multiplayer.it 78, 75 for PlayStation Universe. Jeuxvideo.com, 75 for them. Gamer.no 50. Let's look at all the reviews though. I'm kind of curious to see what else is here. Let's look at an average score here really quickly. Let's look at like this one. CG magazine. They gave it a 75. I'm just curious to see why. What do they have to say here? Alright, so we're starting strong here with, of course, the Persona comparison. He starts with, as much as I adore Persona 4 Golden, I hadn't dipped my toes into the larger pool of the Shin Megami Tensei series before now. So I came to Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD Remaster with fresh eyes. All I knew was its reputation as a grueling experience. And then he proceeds to say Nocturne is not as straightforward as other JRPGs in several ways, and therein lies its difficulty. It will not hold your hand even to walk you through its basic gameplay concepts. If you're the kind of person who barrels through Pokemon games without using any kind of stats altering moves, you'll need to adjust your playstyle to get through Nocturne, as boss battles can hinge upon buffs and debuffs. A single defense boost, for example, can make the difference between success and defeat. Of course, there's something that he had to say here when it comes to the visuals. He says the game's PS2 foundation is still visible throughout. The graphics look great, though the environments are still a little bland and flat by their designs. One sewer environment early on is made harder to navigate by its unremarkable aesthetic and confined corners. Other environments are more dynamic, but the game's PS2 foundation is still visible throughout. A simple cursor still indicates your presence in overworld segments as well, instead of a proper character model. And then he proceeds to praise the music here. Music is not the bright, funky score of Persona 5, but it suits the Dark Vortex world well. Okay. So overall, pretty general thoughts here. Now we of course have to look at a negative review. The Gamer, of course, is well known to be pretty bad overall, and they make for some funny articles sometimes, so I think it's gonna be a good pick. They gave it a 60 here, so let's see what they have to say. Of course, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster review featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. They're trying to profit off the meme here. Alright, here we go, boys. Shin Megami Tensei has always had a Persona-like component to it, one which newer fans of Atlus RPGs will recognize from Persona 5. You can talk to enemy demons in battles and convince them to join you. The stronger you are, the more likely they are to join on your side, though they almost universally need convincing with money and items. Despite the likes of Pokemon doing it for more than 20 years, recruiting enemies still manages to feel fresh in SMT 3, a game from 2003, sorry. But other things feel considerably staller. The battle system is tried and tested, and since it doesn't differ too much from modern Persona games, it manages to mostly hold up, even if the presentation is distinctly more plain. The environments, however, are what truly suffers here. Everything is incredibly angular to the point that where even your analog inputs only move you in 8 directions at predetermined speeds. It's a PS2 game. I was kind of expected, but hey. I keep talking about the atmosphere, and that's because there really isn't anything else in the genre that lays it on it this thick. Modern Persona games and even Shin Megami Tensei 4 just don't manage to feel as oppressive and oppressive as SMT3 is at all times. Maybe that's because I feel like I'm stuck navigating the same always with sarcastic demons biting at my heels, an existential crisis I hit somewhere halfway through, but the worst thing is that I never stopped enjoying SMT3. Okay, but I keep talking about SMT3, not SMT3 HD Remaster. That's because this new remastered version of the game frankly doesn't offer too much to get excited about. The games are at 30 frames per second and the resolution certainly isn't 4K regardless of what PlayStation you might use to enjoy it. In many ways, this feels like the cheapest possible way to remaster a game. Can't disagree with him here, obviously, other than the English voice acting, which he doesn't mention from what I'm seeing here. Yes, it's a pretty cheap remaster overall, so it's on new systems and the picture quality is certainly much better than it ever was on the PS2. Aside from that and a font change that has the fan base divided, there's not much specific to point out about this new release. It works fine, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Obviously, here I'm not saying my thoughts yet. My review is going to come out on Friday, but I can't say that I agree with everything that he mentioned here, especially when it comes to like the added stuff in the remaster. So, but let's keep going. Let's look at the Switch version here. So the Switch version is sitting at an 82 on Metacritic. So 4 points higher than the PS4 version of the game. 18 critics at the moment of recording this video. We have 16 positives and 2 mixed. 100 score, or a perfect score by digitally downloaded. Let's look at it. Let's see what they have to say. Perfect score here by digitally download. We have here Let's see what else we have. iMore is the lowest score here. Nintendo Life with a 70. That's actually pretty low, and I like this news outlet. So let's look at what they have to say here. By this point in time, it'd be easy to believe that the Persona series is Atlus' flagship franchise due to how easily audiences seem to have connected with the light-hearted high schoolers antics feature here. Okay, I want to get this out of the way. It's not surprising that all those news outlets are referring Persona. We keep seeing Persona in all the articles. I've read a bunch of them now, and they all mention Persona. Kind of tickles me a bit here, obviously, but it's fair because now Persona is a bit more popular. I feel like they don't really know sometimes that like Persona comes from mainline Shin Megami Tensei, from games like Nocturne. But yeah, let's see what they have to say here. Oh, he knows at least. So this person knows. In actuality, Persona is itself a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei, Atlus' true flagship franchise, which has been around for a lot longer and acted as the progenitor of many elements that would go on to become staples of the Persona experience. Let's keep going. It remains to be seen whether Shin Megami Tensei 5 will finally be the entry to bring this parent franchise out of its spin-off shadow, but in the meantime, Atlus figured that now is a good time to bring back SMT 3 for new generations. Hey, once again, we have another Pokemon comparison here. Much like in the Pokemon games, almost all the enemies you fight can also become your friends with a little persuasion. Okay, so here is because of demon negotiation, the fact that you can recruit demons. This is what they mentioned here. SMT 3 HD Remaster is indisputably the best way to play this RPG classic, but it's also rather clear that this is the nearly 2-decade-old game is showing its age. An interesting story, enjoyable combat system, and engaging demon recruitment and fusion mechanics make Shin Megami Tensei 3 well worth your time, but the dated visuals, poor quality music, and occasionally unforgiving mechanic are holding back. I assume they wanted to say are holding it back from being excellent. Would give this a recommendation to both longtime fans and newcomers, but with the caveat that you might want to wait for a sale before snacking this up. Actually, the score, while it's a bit low, isn't too bad. I like what they say here. So, man, I have to say those Nocturne reviews are way better than I anticipated. Way better than the Strikers reviews. I think not a lot of outlets are talking about like the DLCs and the new stuff in the remaster. They're like reviewing Nocturne as a game and not necessarily just the remaster. Personally, for me, I will in my review, well, it's fully completed, by the way. It's ready to go. I'm just waiting for the embargo to lift. I talk about Nocturne as a game, and I also talk about the quality of the remaster. I will really appreciate your support, guys, with my review once it comes up. If you guys could show support and interact, it's my first review copy from Atlus at that, so I would really appreciate your support if possible. But honestly, 82 is a very good score here. I kind of want to look at this here. Nocturne HD, I briefly mentioned it before, but it's actually the 12th ranking game on Nintendo Switch in 2021. So that's very nice. Like, there's a lot of games that came out already. We're halfway through May, almost halfway through the year, and it's the 12th ranking game. So that's pretty good. It is passed by Gnosia, Solus, Little Nightmares 2, Trails of Cold Steel 4, Tadpole, Atelier Trilogy, Deluxe Pack, Undermine, There's No Game, Monster Hunter Rise, Fez, and Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. No 80 scores yet for the Switch in 2021. Let's see where Persona 5 Strikers is ranking. Okay, so it's right there. You see Strikers is sitting at an 80 on Metacritic, 2 points under Nocturne here, and it is the 18th ranking game, so still pretty good overall, I would say. So I think this is all that we have to look at when it comes to the Nocturne reviews. Honestly, they weren't as exciting as I was expecting. Strikers review were way more funny to read, but what I'm getting from those reviews from Nocturne is that obviously news outlets, they all compare Nocturne to Persona and Pokemon. So those news outlets, they try to appeal to like the casual audience, so it kind of makes sense that they do. I kind of liked what they had to say. Again, I feel like they should have given more info on new content and new stuff that the remaster brings to the table. I think I made my point pretty clear in my review, so again, if you guys could drop likes and share the review once it comes up on Friday. I would really appreciate it. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Big stuff coming for the channel. We have a podcast with King Narukami talking about all that newcomers to mainline SMT should know before jumping into Nocturne HD. So 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. You guys want to tune in, and man, big Nocturne stuff coming for the channel. So don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload. Thank you all so much. I appreciate the support. Have a great day. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.